It happened on a Wednesday. The kind of midweek evening where the world feels half asleep. Dinner on the stove. My daughter finishing homework. My wife humming softly as she folded laundry. Calm, ordinary, safe, and yet something inside me tightened. Because she was humming a song I hadn't heard in years, when she only used to sing when she was stressed. Or lying. I told myself I was imagining it. But then she made a mistake, a small one, the kind people make when they forget someone is watching. She hid her phone under a stack of towels, not in her pocket, not on the counter, but buried. Like she was afraid of what I might see. The moment lasted only a second, but it snapped something awake inside me. The feeling that this night wasn't normal at all. After dinner, she rushed to put the plates away, too rushed. She kept checking the hidden phone when she thought I wasn't looking. A quick glance, then a deep breath, like she was bracing for something. Finally, it buzzed, just once. She flinched like she'd been struck. "Work," she said quickly, not meeting my eyes. "They need me early tomorrow." But she didn't work early shifts, ever. Then she added something that made the hairs on my neck rise. "It's nothing. Don't worry. People only say that when it's something you absolutely should worry about." I nodded, pretending to accept it. But inside, something cold began to spread. Because she wasn't just hiding a message. She was hiding her reaction to it. She went upstairs to get ready for bed. But she left something behind, her work badge. She never leaves that badge. She treats it like a second skin, clipped to her clothes, hanging in the car, always on her. Yet tonight, it lay on the chair beside me, like it had slipped from her pocket in her rush. I picked it up. The date stamped on it wasn't today's. It was yesterday's, meaning she hadn't gone to work today at all. My stomach twisted. If she wasn't at work today, and she had an early shift tomorrow, then where had she been going? I set the badge down quietly. And that's when I noticed something else. A faint smell on her jacket hanging by the door. Cologne, not mine. I climbed the stairs slowly, trying to steady my breathing. Her phone was at her nightstand, not hidden now, just face down. The screen lit up when I walked past. Not the full message, just the preview. "I saw him. You weren't careful. Call me." My chest tightened. Not careful about what? Who saw me? And why was someone warning her? I stared at the glowing screen, frozen. This wasn't the kind of message you send a coworker, or a friend, or anyone living a normal life. This was the kind of message people send when they're trapped in something they shouldn't be part of. Something dangerous. She stepped out of the bathroom, saw me near the nightstand, and froze for half a heartbeat before forcing a smile. "You okay?" she asked. I held up her badge. "You forgot this." Her smile twitched, just slightly, but enough. "Long day," she said. "I'm exhausted." Then she reached for the badge with a hand that trembled. I let her take it. I didn't confront her. Didn't accuse her. Didn't even mention the message. Because a lie this fragile doesn't survive confrontation. It collapses under its own weight. And tonight, I needed it to keep standing. Long enough for me to see what was behind it. But when I lay down beside her, pretending to sleep, my phone buzzed under my pillow. A message. From an unknown number. It said, "If you think she's lying about work, you're not even close to the real secret she's hiding." My heart stopped. Because this wasn't accidental. Someone was watching her. Someone was watching us, and they wanted me to know it. I didn't sleep. Not because of the message, but because of the sound that followed it. Footsteps. Not inside the house, but outside. Slow, measured, stopping directly under our bedroom window. I lifted my head slightly. The silhouette of a person stood in the yard, still watching. Then, as if realizing I had noticed, they stepped back and disappeared into the dark. My wife turned in her sleep, sighing softly. Completely unaware. That was the moment I understood. This wasn't about jealousy, not about a secret lover, not about the usual things marriages break over. This was bigger. And the person outside knew something I didn't. At 5 a.m., she slipped out of bed quietly. Too quietly, and grabbed her bag. But she made another mistake. In her rush, she knocked over the jacket she had worn the day before. A small object hit the floor. A phone, not her regular one. A different one. A thin, black burner phone, the kind people buy when they don't want to be found. I didn't pick it up yet. I listened. She walked down the stairs, paused at the front door, then whispered, "I'll be there in 20, talking to someone, not to me, not to work, and absolutely not to anyone she's ever mentioned." I waited until the door clicked shut before grabbing the burner. The lock screen didn't need a code. It was wide open. The last message read, "He's starting to notice. Handle it before he remembers." My mouth went dry. Remembers what? What was I forgetting? And why did someone think she needed to handle me? I scrolled through the phone. No contacts. No call logs. Just a trail of deleted messages, but one image remained. A single photo of me, taken last week, at the grocery store, standing by the produce aisle, looking at oranges like it was the most ordinary moment in the world. But the angle. It was taken from behind me, from close range. Someone had been following me long before last night. Someone with access to a phone my wife was hiding. My pulse thudded loud in my ears. This wasn't paranoia. This wasn't imagination. I was being watched. And she was connected. By the time she returned from her early shift, her smile was too bright, forced, flickering at the edges. "Long morning," she said, hanging her bag carefully, too carefully, like something inside might break. "Really?" I asked. Her shoulders stiffened. "Yeah, why?" I shrugged. "Just seemed like you left in a hurry." She swallowed just once before forcing that smile again. Didn't want to be late, but she wasn't wearing her badge or her work shoes or her usual makeup. She was dressed differently, like someone who had been somewhere her real name wasn't welcome. Every detail contradicted the story, and she knew I noticed. I could see the fear behind her eyes, because lies get easier to tell, until the moment someone stops believing them. That evening, my daughter asked me to pick up something from the store. I agreed, not because we needed anything, but because I needed space, clarity, answers. I drove 2 blocks before my phone vibrated again. Unknown number. A text, just 5 words. "You're not safe with her." Then another text came instantly, a location pin. The exact same house she visited in the picture. The house she told me she had never been to. My hands gripped the steering wheel. This wasn't just someone exposing her. This was someone trying to lead me somewhere. Somewhere she didn't want me to see. Somewhere that held the truth she'd been burying. Every instinct screamed at me to turn back. But I didn't, because the distance between suspicion and truth is small, and I had already crossed it. I followed the pin, straight toward the place my wife hoped I'd never find. The pinned location led me to a quiet suburban street. Normal, peaceful, too peaceful. Every house had a trimmed lawn, a porch light, a welcome mat, except the one I was sent to. Its windows were covered. Its door had 3 different locks. And a camera was pointed directly at the driveway, not for protection, for monitoring. As soon as I stepped out of my car, my phone vibrated. Another message. "Don't knock. Just walk in." My pulse hammered. Someone knew I was here. Someone was watching. And yet, I obeyed. Because I had to know what she was hiding badly enough for strangers to warn me. I turned the handle. It wasn't locked. It wanted me inside. The air inside felt wrong, heavy, stale, like a place no one lived in, but people visited often. The hallway was lined with photos. Not family photos, surveillance photos. Some were of me. Some were of my daughter. Most were of my wife. Different angles, different days, different locations. Someone had been following us for months. But that wasn't the worst part. The most recent photo, pinned right in the center, showed something I had never seen before. My wife standing at a storage unit, hugging someone taller, broader, a man. But the embrace wasn't romantic, it was desperate. Like two people who shared a terrible secret. I stepped closer. The man's face was blurred, intentionally, like someone smudged it on the printout. But her face, she wasn't smiling. She was crying. On the table sat an old audio recorder. Next to it, a yellow sticky note. Press play. I hesitated. Then I pressed it. Her voice filled the room instantly. Shaky. Panicked. I'm running out of time. He's starting to notice. If he remembers anything, a male voice cut in. He won't. The memory blocks were deep. But if he gets too close, you know what to do. My breath stopped. Memory blocks? Too close to what? The recording continued. She whispered, voice cracking. I don't want to hurt him. You already did, the man said. Finishing it is mercy. My whole body went cold. Finishing it? Mercy? What were they talking about? The recording clicked off. Silence swallowed the room. And in that silence I realized, the lie wasn't that she cheated, or that she was working late, or that she changed. The lie was that the woman living in my home, the woman sharing my bed, was the same woman I thought I married. She wasn't, at least not anymore. A sound broke through the silence. Soft, slow, measured. Just like the footsteps outside the window, but this time, they were above me. Inside the house, someone else was here. My heart pounded as I stepped back toward the door, but it slammed shut, locked. Then a voice drifted down from the second floor. You weren't supposed to come here. I froze. It wasn't a stranger's voice. It was hers, my wife. I looked up. Her shadow appeared at the top of the stairs. Except, it wasn't quite her silhouette. Her stance was different. Her presence was wrong. Her voice carried a tone I had never heard before. Cold, controlled, rehearsed. You made this harder than it had to be, she said softly. I stepped backward. What am I remembering? I asked. She smiled. Not kindly, not sadly, but like someone who finally stopped pretending. Enough to destroy everything. My phone buzzed one more time. A text from the same unknown number. Run. Just one word. Run. Because whatever she wanted to finish, it wasn't just a lie. It was me. Her footsteps creaked down the stairs. Slow. Controlled. Predatory. The woman I married never walked like that. Never looked at me like that. Never spoke with that kind of ice in her voice. But this version of her, this version was dangerous. Why didn't you just ignore the call? She asked, tilting her head. You were never supposed to come here. My hands trembled. Then tell me the truth, I said. All of it. She smiled again, the kind of smile that makes your blood freeze. You already know the truth, she whispered. You're just remembering too slowly. She took another step toward me. You think this is about cheating? She said. About another man? I didn't answer. Because deep inside, I already knew it wasn't. She continued. You were getting too close 8 years ago. You started asking questions you were never supposed to ask. My chest tightened. What questions? She brushed her fingers along the wall as she passed, almost lovingly. About our daughter. Something shattered inside me. No, I said instantly. No, don't. She isn't yours, she said coldly. She was never yours. My knees weakened. But she wasn't finished. You found out back then. You confronted me. You threatened to leave, to take her with you. Her voice darkened. So we fixed that. Not just her. We used the memory block so you'd forget the affair, forget the fight, forget the truth. Her smile sharpened, and it worked. For a while, my stomach twisted, not because she had cheated, not because my daughter might not be mine, but because she chose manipulation over honesty, erasure over accountability, control over love. A voice suddenly came from behind her. Enough. A man stepped out of the shadows upstairs, tall, broad, the same silhouette from the photo. But when he reached the light, my breath stopped. I knew him, not well, not as a friend, but as someone I once trusted. Our neighbor, her co-worker. The man she always said was barely someone she talks to. He looked at me with something close to pity. "We didn't want it to go this far," he said quietly. But she panicked. She always panics. My wife's face twisted. "You promised you'd handle him, and you promised you'd stay subtle," he snapped. Their argument wasn't romantic. It was strategic, cold, calculated, like two criminals scrambling to control a collapsing plan. I backed away slowly. What were you going to do to me?" My wife sighed, almost disappointed. "You weren't supposed to remember anything. We were going to move next month. Start over, without you ever knowing the difference." I swallowed hard. "Start over? With him," she said. Her voice was flat, emotionless, as if my existence had become an inconvenience she wanted to delete. "You were just in the way," she said. "And you've always been easy to erase." The man stepped down one stair. "Let's finish this," he muttered. Before he reached the next step, the front door burst open. 3 officers stormed inside, guns drawn, shouting commands. My wife froze. The man froze. I froze. The lead officer grabbed the man instantly, pinning him against the wall. Another officer wrestled my wife's hands behind her back. She screamed my name, not lovingly, but furiously, like I had betrayed her plan. I looked at the officer nearest me. "How did you know?" I asked. He pulled out a radio. "We got an anonymous tip. Someone said a man was in danger at this address." My heart kicked hard. The unknown caller, the messages, the warnings. Someone had been trying to save me. Someone who knew everything. Someone who wanted the truth exposed. But before I could ask who, the officer added, "And by the way, whoever called you, they're gone. Number doesn't trace to anything real." As they dragged her past me, my wife leaned close and whispered, "You still don't remember the rest, but you will, and when you do, you'll wish you hadn't." Her breath was venom. Her words were poison, but it didn't matter. Because for the first time in years, the truth was mine again. Even if it hurt. Even if it broke me. Even if the memories came back piece by piece, the lie was over. And I wasn't the one who needed to run anymore. If you made it this far, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I have carefully selected a story for you to watch next that I am sure you would love. I will see you in the next story.